in Delhi, I remember we used to go to Firozshah Kotla a lot for our camps and games. And on the way back, every time we would stop at Nizam's, to have Kathi rolls. So that was something that I used to crave. I used to tell them, either my father would pick me up or my brother, and I would tell them, I want to have that. We are not going home without that Kathi roll. So Nizam was, our point of stopping every time we were coming back home, and that's one restaurant I remember fondly.
Okay, finally, good evening, Kabir.
Good evening to you too, guys.
First of all, we are very, very happy and honored to have you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much. The pleasure is all mine.
So we'll dive right into it. The main reason why I wanted to have you as a guest on the podcast is because when I went through your profile, you came up on my feed, honestly. Your reels came up on my feed, and I said, "Woo, this is some interesting guy who's had like 3 verticals of business under him." There's Nizam. So for everyone, there's Nizam, there's Idlinama, and then there's the Turkey project that Kabir is a part of. And then I see a person at the helm of these 3 big projects, as well as content creation. So that kind of intrigued me. We'll get into content creation later, but my first question right up is, what was your inspiration? Okay, what is your association with food?
Right, absolutely. So there is. I remember someone else had asked me this before, and my straight answer was that, man, listen, I'm a Punjabi. Okay, for us, everything starts from food. Everything is celebrated with food, and everything is for food in one way. So I feel like my dad has been a restaurateur all his life. Chole bhature on Sundays has been a tradition. Anytime it's someone's birthday, or anytime it's someone's anniversary, anytime it's any sort of celebration, it always is celebrated by food. So I think that's where it all began, and that's when I knew that there was nothing else that I'm doing. I knew that my life had to be integrated with food somehow or the other. Sooner or later, I started finding ways of sort of getting into the industry. The easiest was, of course, restaurants. And to be honest, if you've seen Friends, and there's Monica, this character, and in one episode she says that she has this big realization where she says, "Oh my God, did I start cooking food because I like pleasing people?" And so I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I realized somewhere in between that food gave people happiness, and I liked seeing people happy. And so that's when I knew this is what I'm doing for the rest of my life. It's what it is, man. I'm glad we live in this world where we're able to say whatever the hell we want to. So this is what I want to say. Yes, I do like pleasing people. I don't care what people think about it, but that's just what it is.
Love it. You do you.
Yeah.
That's really great to hear that you found, what you want to do very early on, having that kind of, because there are many people who have, traditional businesses who are in that environment, but they still want to go against it. And they don't kind of synergize with it. So it's really great to see that you kind of, found it early on in your life, and you found your passion in that. But how were you so sure? Or what was it, exactly what was your why that, kind of validated you that, okay, was there a point where you found that, yeah, food is what's going to be the rest of my life?
This is why I said I think I'm very lucky. There's like a, when you're choosing a life partner, and they always say, like in these Shah Rukh Khan movies, they'll always say, when you know, you just know. तुम्हें पता है जब तुम्हें पता है. तो बस I just knew when I knew. I knew that I knew. That's it. There's no, how was I so sure? There was something inside me which just said, that's it. I'm going to do this for the rest of my life. So whether it became hard, or whether it became depressing, or whether it became super hard, or whatever it was, If it was struggle, I still wanted to do it. Whether it was happy, I still wanted to do it. When it was down, I still wanted to do it. When it was making me money, I still wanted to do it. When I was making no money out of it, I still wanted to do it. So I just, when you know, you just know. I'm sorry, but that's the truth.
Yeah,
I'm really lucky that way.
That is so true. Like, we're so happy for you that so many people our age are still like faffing around and still figuring out what to do. But there's this person here, even if like you say that you were lucky enough to know, consistency is something that you have to build, and discipline is something that you have to build. So my guess is that your dad, being in the same business, helped you with that, or what was it like? Because that routine you have to build. Discipline is a muscle that you have to develop.
I don't think so. No. I don't think you need discipline and all that. Nahi zaruri. Because the thing is that, see, my dad till date, his biggest complaint with me is that you don't get up on time and you don't go to work on time and you don't spend enough hours at work. Okay, na? And he is right from his perspective, okay, because he's seen life in a whole other era, in a whole other time, in a whole other dynamic, okay, and it was required back then. But we live in a completely new age now, where I think that that's why they always say smart work will get you through. I think if you're smart enough, you can figure out a way to sort of hack productivity without being the stereotypical disciplined person that the world says you need to be. So, like, because the stereotypical disciplined person is, get up at 6 a.m. and do yoga and drink water and be there at 8 a.m. and that's how you will make money.
True.
Bullshit. That is absolute crap. You can make money anyway, anyhow. Sure, but you have to figure it out. There is a fight towards it. You have to fight your way towards it. There is a lot of figuring out, but it is definitely possible, especially now, right? In this day and age of so much accessibility, approachability, and just this in this era where you can just get things done, and there are far more easier ways to get things done, right? For example, when my dad, if he had to make a new menu in his restaurant, okay, he probably had to like go through books and buy books, and before buying books, speak to other people, which book should I buy, and then try those recipes out and then see, okay, this works for me, that works for me. For us, man, it's 5 minutes. Like, I'm going to Google it, I'm going to watch 10 YouTube videos, and I will know, okay, this is good, that is good, this is good, and there you go. Within like 20-25 minutes, I have a research for a whole menu done. So absolutely not. There is no discipline needed. Your discipline, there is consistency needed, but what I'm trying to say is that the consistency should be there in the discipline that you create. I'm just trying to say that the discipline that the world has created around a successful life is not true.
Correct. You have no idea how many people you will comfort with this. When I play this and run shorts on this exact clip, I'm going to extract this and run it again and again for people to get comforted. Because that is so true that the world has taught us like so much discipline and everything. That is true.
Yeah.
That is a really great hot take that you have on this aspect. But I want to ask you then, how do you kind of balance between, the brands that you're running and all the activities you are going through? Like, you're also creating great content on Instagram. You are, growing your brands at the same time. So how do you manage that, or how do you kind of, balance those things in your daily routine or in your life in general?
By not running after perfection. I'm not trying to, I balance everything in life by not running after perfection and by delegating every work that can be delegated. I am not, you have to have that acceptance where you need to know things are not going to be 100% okay all the time. Okay. So you have to create benchmarks for yourself. For example, I know that I am going to get complaints in all my restaurants. It's going to happen. But the level of complaints that I allow myself to bear is what I need to know. So for me, 5%. 5% के ऊपर अगर complaints जाती है, I need to delve back into the business and I need to do something. But 5% तक it's fine. It's going to happen. I cannot satisfy everyone. So it's all right. I cannot manage one. I cannot be at one place all the time for that business and keep on looking into everything. You have to be okay with the fact that things are not going to be perfect, and you have to be okay with the fact that you're going to delegate it. You know, when you watch a Shark Tank, Barbara
Yes.
Barbara Corcoran.
Streisand, I think, is Rohani, my marketing manager, is right at the back, and I said Barbara Streisand or something, and she's like, yes. It's Barbara Corcoran. Anyway, so she says you need to delegate, and when you are delegating, 80% is good enough. इसका मतलब ये है कि अगर कुछ काम आप करने वाले हो और अगर आप उसको डेलीगेट करते हो और वो डेलीगेट करने के वक्त अगर कोई जो कर रहा है वो 80% भी उसको सही कर सकता है या भी सही कर सकती है, तो वो बहुत बढ़िया है. Then it's perfect. That's all you need. That person cannot do that job as you want it to be done or how you would do it, because it's not their company, it's not their business, it's not their money. They don't care as much. Simple.
True.
If they can do it just 80% as good enough as you need them to do it, delegate it. So that's how I manage. And so I'm okay with knowing that complaints are going to happen, mess ups are going to happen, things are going to get screwed up, and that's okay. We just have to learn and move on. That's it.
That's a great take, man. That's so nice. Okay, let's dive into. I want to get into Nizam's, the business, because it started like since 1975. Correct? Am I right?
Wow, I should know this. 1978.
Okay, 78, because Instagram says 75, so I thought let's confirm. Anyway,
see, back there, it could be 75. To be honest. I'm not even sure because I don't think my dad is also sure at this point. But somewhere around 75, 78.
Okay, doesn't matter. My question is that Kathi rolls is my favorite go-to food.
Fantastic.
Please walk me through Nizam's story, your dad's involvement, your involvement, and its expansion, because I see that there's so many branches around Delhi, because I have friends in Delhi. And that they tell me that it's quite famous around that it's closer to, there's one close to Firosha Kota, right? And
in Connaught Place.
Connaught Place, correct. So there's one in CP, Defcol, Malviya Nagar, Kutub Plaza, Malibu Town. Yeah, walk me through its story and how did you expand it?
So the thing is, see, when it comes to Nizam's, it's the baby of my grandfather. All right. I am the third generation. After my grandfather came my dad and my uncle, my chacha. They have, they were usually as businesses get passed on down to generations, they get, something goes wrong and more things get screwed up, or families split, and if there is an ABC brand, then ABC becomes ABC1 and ABC2. But my family, luckily, touch would have had their priorities set in the right place, and my uncle and my dad made sure to keep the flag raising high. And expanded. So Nizam started in somewhere around 1975-78, where my grandfather, he was a contractor. He was an electrical contractor. He would do sound engineering for theaters. So some of the oldest theaters in Delhi have been engineered by him. And then he wanted to start a restaurant with a couple of friends of his, and so they did. They went ahead and they started this, and over the period of time, it just turned out that this started doing better than any of his other businesses. So when my dad was 21 and he had done his law and come back, and he was just about to start practicing law when my grandfather got full body paralysis, and my dad had to take over the reins of the business. So, which is what he did, and of course he struggled for the first couple of years. And then, of course, my uncle joined him, and then they both together pushed At that time there was just one outlet. It was just Connaught Place. That's it. It was tiny. It started from just a takeaway counter, and then they eventually made it. They kept on building to buy out the side store, and then another store, and then made it a proper seating area. And then they started an outlet in Defense Colony, and then they tried their hands outside Delhi as well, and slowly kept on building the brand. But anyway, we are not a very expanded brand. We have just 6 outlets, but I'm very proud of those 6 outlets, because I feel like each one of those 6 outlets runs as if it is just one outlet. Give me a second to explain what I mean. As brands expand, as restaurants grow, it is a common thinking that the quality starts to go down. Okay, that the food quality starts to get compromised. And to be honest, till some extent it is true. Because if you expand into, let's say, 50 locations, you can possibly not have the same style and the same way of operating as you did when you were one store. It's very difficult. It's just not possible. You have to make compromises along the way. But we have 6 outlets, and I think in 6 outlets, each one of them functions as if it is just that only one functioning. Everything is made fresh every single day. Everything is made from scratch. We don't use any sort of preservatives or flavoring agents. सब कुछ असली खाना है. So इसलिए that's why I'm really proud of it. I think even if we just have 6, and I'm sure there are tons and tons of bigger restaurant chains than us, but I think even at 6 outlets, we really do a good job.
That's great. Yeah, that's so good to hear. And so it's not a franchisee thing, right? You own all the 6 outlets.
Oh no! Oh hell no! We don't do franchises at all. We're dead against franchises. We're very old style business like that. We hate franchises. We want to build everything ourselves, and in that way, we are micromanagers. So we want everything we want to manage everything ourselves. It's because we run Nizam's as a family. Okay, and we run it being on the helm of this business. If you go to Connaught Place, you're going to meet my dad there. If you go to Defense Colony, you're going to meet my uncle there. I'm also in Defense Colony, so if you come there, you'll see me there as well. Because I'm the youngest, I actually keep shuttling between all the outlets. But the point is that we are at the helm of this, talking to customers, taking orders, sometimes serving, because I'm a professionally trained chef, so I'm sometimes cooking as well. So we run the business like that. So we run it on like it's like ye hamara hai. We run it emotionally. You shouldn't run business emotionally, but we run it as it's like as if our baby. So, and we like it that way. So it's just that.
That is so good to hear. So I wanted to ask you that these recipes was decided by your grandfather and your dad, and what is the recipe like? Who decided on the recipe, and what do you think? What is your involvement as well?
So the full name is Nizam's Kathi Kebab, okay, which basically means Nizam ke Kathi Kebab. Nizam was the first chef who my grandfather hired, and hence it is called Nizam's Kathi Kebab. So it was his recipe. It was his recipe, and but eventually, as we started with just two items, a chicken roll and a mutton roll. But eventually, as the years have gone by, we've added a lot of things to the menu, and things have progressed. So recipes have progressed, and because technology has progressed, and उस वक्त पर सिर्फ कुछ टाइप की क्वालिटी मिल सकती थी, कुछ टाइप के मसाले मिल सकते थे. अब आपको और बहुत सारे, अब आपको श्रीलंका से मसाला आ सकता है कहीं भी, कभी भी, कैसे भी. You can get spices from all around the world available in your city. So recipes have progressed, and of course these are safely guarded recipes. The masalas are still, the proprietary masalas are still mixed actually at my house sometimes. So in our basement, with the proper mixing of it is still done, and then it is passed on to the team to go ahead and cook with it.
Nice.
That food businesses need kind of standardization or systems over the time. So have you kind of set any kind of standardized processes or any systems in your business?
Absolutely. You do not. No business can expand efficiently, conveniently, comfortably without systems and processes. If you don't have systems and processes, you are going to be 24/7 getting irritated and running around and taking calls and putting out fires all day long. So this is going to go wrong, that is going to go wrong. But if you have systems and processes, your business can be smooth, and it is easy. It is easy. It's like, and systems and processes don't have to be this Bible, this professional Bible which you flip and it is written in pure crisp language. You enter some of my outlets, some of our outlets, and you will see that the system and process as simple as a sheet pasted on the wall which has a photo of a guy making a roll in a certain way. That's a system, that's a process, that's all you need. My team is not as well educated as probably other teams are, or like chefs are, right? But so I make processes as I need them to understand. वो अगर हिंदी में समझते तो मैं हिंदी में लिखूंगा, अगर वो वीडियो समझते मैं वीडियो में लिखूंगा. जब कोविड आया था तो हमने सिस्टम और when कोविड वाज देयर तो सिस्टम्स एंड प्रोसेसेस बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट थे. तो मैंने क्या किया, मैं ना ऐसे अपनी वीडियो बनाकर भेजता था, व्हाट्सएप पे ब्रॉडकास्ट करता था हमारे रेस्टोरेंट ग्रुप्स में, जिसमें मैं दिखाता था कि देखो ऐसे हाथ को सैनिटाइज करना है और ऐसे मास्क लगाना है और इस तरीके से ये होना चाहिए, उस तरीके से वो होना चाहिए. वो भी एक सिस्टम और प्रोसेस है. Systems and processes are very important to a business. How you make them is completely up to you. So do not get bogged down by the fact your system or a process should be, a book written in English which an HR manager has to teach. Or to hell with that. A system and a process, anything that you can write into your, on the walls of your business for if you want, or just to be told. But they are very, very important. They are what is going to help you, if not expand, just run your business without you, which is what you need. If you're going to run a business, you should not be working more than 4 hours a day. If you want to work 6, 7 hours, 8 hours a day, then might as well get a job, a bank job or something. Lunch time, sutta break nikal kar utne ghante kaam hota hai.
Yeah, that is so true. Like, if you can't get a way or find a way that your business doesn't run on itself, what the hell did
what
we do?
What is even the point?
Doing?
What is even the point of running a business?
True. Absolutely, I understand. Because there's a thing called something like sustainable businesses, which should survive anything. Well, obviously, there will be challenges, but there are also different ways in which you can tackle those. And obviously, delegation, like we spoke about. We spoke about collaboration. Now I want to speak about a little bit about the marketing aspect of it. Since we are also only on the topic of Nizam right now, let's get in the marketing strategy of Nizam. Obviously it was a set business, an old business, a legacy, so to speak. But when I went to your Instagram page, there are also delicious photographs, and then you yourself are a content creator. So what is your marketing strategy like? That's my first question. The second question is that this is from your own reel, that just good food is not enough. Marketing, you need packaging, pricing, budgeting. So can you expand a little bit on that? I want to know from you personally what you meant by that, that good food is just not enough.
Okay. See, good food is not enough. It's the truth. No matter what you say, it is not enough. We live in a world where we want experiences. Okay. So the people for whom good food is enough are people who have stood the test of time before the technology era or the experience era of business came in. Because up till a few years ago, I feel like businesses would only offer a singular service, right? Car manufacturers only made cars, restaurants only made food, right? But I think that has changed over the course of time. right? I think every business has to have an experience around them for their customer, and because we have become experience craving, okay? So that's why I always say कि अब अगर नया business खुलेगा तो good food तो is not enough. You need to focus on other things as well, because the competition is insane. With technology, the world has just opened up, right? Everyone is, even a person who is selling food from your home can be the next big thing. She or he, some nani selling biryani can suddenly be, I don't know, be noticed by someone, some VC, and be like, you know what, this Nani's biryani is the new brand, and suddenly Nani's biryani has like 100 outlets. So it happens. What I'm trying to say is that the world has opened up. That's all I'm trying to put across with what I was trying to say. In order for you to build something successful now, you have to make sure that you are at least in restaurants, you are focusing on other aspects as well. Packaging is very important. Okay, how you greet the customer when they enter your restaurant is very important. What the customer feels when they walk into your establishment. Forget just restaurants. Just when they walk into your showroom or when they walk into your shop is very important. So, and these are just things that you can use. The reason I say this is because when I say it on video with that power and that music and something, and I'm all amped up, it sort of convinces you to think about it, which is what I'm trying to do, right? I just want people to stop and think about it for a second, because that's the way that you can I'm not saying that's the only way you can build a successful business. I'm saying that that's something that you can use to really amp up your current business. If you start focusing on these little things, you start focusing on the details of these, it'll really help you. So marketing, like you said, Nizam's was established by first my grandfather. He spent the initial grinding years, okay. Then my father and my uncle, they spent the next amount of grinding years. I am simply enjoying the fruits, okay. I'll be honest with you, okay. I'm doing the easy part of copy pasting. Okay, I am doing the easy part of saying कि oh wow बढ़िया रेसिपी आपने बना दी है, अब इस रेसिपी को डॉक्यूमेंट करना और इसको कॉपी पेस्ट करना मेरा काम है, वो मैं कर रहा हूँ, ठीक है. And that is the biggest reason why we started Turkey Project. Again, it is a family business, but Turkey Project was born without attaching the Nizam's help to it, right? Like we didn't attach this is by Nizam's or anything like that, because I told my uncle who I work with that I want to experience that fight from 0 to 1.
So he has actually cracked the code of going from 0 to 1, the most troublesome fight, but that only in the next episode, the part 2 of this episode. Stay tuned for a lot more. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like and share, the usual. And we will also be discussing about his third venture, Idlinama, a South Indian dish in a North Indian backdrop, which is interesting. And lastly, he will also give you tips about starting your own cafe if you want to, because I had plans and I had asked him a question about starting my own restaurant or a cafe. So stay tuned for more. Keep following the Don't Retire podcast. Like and share if you like our video. Keep supporting. Thank you very much.